Hi. Bro. Hi everyone. I would like to wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. Okay. So I'm just expecting few more participants. Then I'll start the session. So whoever has joined, for them, I'm just telling this. Like even though there is one student also arrived in the meeting, I will take the session. Okay. The session will be continued. So just stay here with more patience. Let us see how many more participants are joining in next 1 or 2 more minutes. Okay, I will start the session now. Okay, for those who had joined the session, first of all, I'll appreciate that you are preferring to join on uh, live mode. Always try to prefer the join on live mode. The recordings are, I believe, it may not be that effective because the way you can clear your doubt on spot, like in the live session, you cannot get that same feeling or get you cannot get that same benefit in the recording mode. So always try your best to achieve it in live mode. Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. So just a quick recap I'm giving for the last class. So in last two classes, what we were doing, we were creating the APIs, right? So the API which we were creating is the social network API. For the social network domain, we have identified two key objects. That is, one is user and another is the post done by the user. So for user, we know that these are the few attributes we have identified, like ID, name, birth date. Of course, there are like many other attributes also present, but just to keep it bit simple, I have taken three attributes, but when you are working on the API, try to have more attributes. Okay. So that will give you like a real-time feeling that you are working on some real-time API. Okay. Now, for this user, we have identified like what all key functionalities we need, key service we need. We need to retrieve all the users' data, once all users, who all are users there in social network. So, who can use this kind of API? Your admin role. Admin people, they sometimes they need to know how many users, so they will retrieve all users. Or if suppose you have some followers, okay, so for your role, means as a user, for user role, how many users are mapped to you, so get all users functionality is required there. Okay, now retrieve one user. Suppose sometime you need to know, you have encountered you just found some known face in your Facebook and you want to know about that, like is it your old friend or something like that, just you will click that. So when the moment you are clicking that on that name or on that picture, then this kind of API is required. This kind of means you are retrieving only one user data there. Then last session on Friday, actually we created one user, that is post. Okay. So how we did that? So in the user controller, what I did for the previous API, it was a get mapping. The request method was get mapping. And when I need to create a user, the request mapping, the request method has to be post mapping. Okay. That means you are adding a user, means you are registering yourself whenever in any website or any mobile app, you are signing up for the first time. When you are adding yourself as a user, this is the request method to be used. Means your front end calls this API, it invokes this API. Backend, from the backend, it chooses this API to add the user. Okay, so this is the method we have used, add user, and here inside this method, user is the parameter, input parameter, which we have to annotate as request body. Okay, this is mandatory. I told you this annotation is mandatory. Now this whole functionality is exposed to the outside world. Okay, so that suppose if I am using any form, okay, if I am using any form, there actually this you can just remember, like suppose from the mobile app Facebook, you are adding yourself as a user first, or from the website, Facebook website, or just remember that you one form is appearing, right? In that form, you have to give your data like your name, your birth date, your city, your country, some information you fill it up, right? And then the moment you click the submit button, the moment when you click the submit button, your front end calls this API. Okay, the form data gets submitted in JSON like this, something like this. See, the form data is going to add something like this. It means your name, your birth date, everything, your front end change it into JSON object. Okay, and the moment if I let me see if my server is running or not. So what I will do, I will first of all try to retrieve all the users. So this is a Postman tool I have asked you, I have asked all of you to install. Since there were many of you were absent last class, for you, actually I'm just again putting it over chat. The tool is Postman. Okay, you need to install this tool Postman so that you can call the API. Okay, so Postman is the tool where you can which you can use and see the gate mapping. Here I have a gate. This is a gate API. Gate API. See here. Here you have to choose the request method. The request method is get, and HTTP localhost. My server is running in the localhost server at 8080 port, and the API which gives me the all user information is the path is /users. So this is the /user path I have appended here. Now if I will click send button, so all my users who all are there in my database. At present, we are not using the database. I am repeating. At present, we are not using a database. We are just, I mean, just using a DAO service, user DAO service class where I'm just keeping all my data in a user list. Okay, this is the user list. So, the moment the server started, 4 users were there: Usha, Minu, Vishal, Pradeep. Okay, now Friday I have added few more data. Okay, I have added Pratiksha, I have added Srikant. Okay, so these are few users, and today the post mapping API we will call. So what is happening in my user control? I have in my user control, I have also one capability or one functionality or one API I have added where the request method is post and I have to pass a new user. Okay, so the new user will not have the ID. The ID will be assigned by our backend service. Our backend logic will create the ID and assign it to the user. So the front end will do what? The front end will just call the API. This is my front end. Okay, this is my front end. At present, I'm calling it from Postman. But as a full stack engineer, or if you are a backend engineer, what is as a full stack engineer, what is your duty? If you are a full stack engineer, if you are a backend, so just imagine if you are a backend engineer, what is your responsibility? How you will coordinate with your front end engineer? Can anyone respond to me? Once you are done with your API, this is the API I am done. I'm done with the API. The API functionality is to create a user. So what I will do? Here I will pass a user, new user object. This user is calling my DAO service, create user method I'm calling it. In the create user, I'm passing the user, right? I'm passing the user object. And here, see, this is the logic I have put here for ID creation. User list dot size. So what is the size of my user list? And whoever will be added, the new user will get the next ID. So +1 I have done here, and this is the integer ID, and to this new user, this is the new user. So I have set the ID. Now user list dot add user. This method is returning the user, the new user. It will add it to the database. At present, this list is my database. So I will add this user to this list, and this method is returning the new user. Okay. And your controller is returning what? Your controller is also returning the user object. Okay. Now, you are, imagine that you are a backend engineer. Once this API, this post API you have done, what you are going to do? Can anyone respond to me? Can anyone respond to my question? Let me take one of your name, Prashad.
Yes, Usha. From front end, we have unit test that one whether the user will getting posted to the backend DB that entry is created or not. We can
Yeah,
test
definitely.
through
Whenever
post.
you are, correct, correct. Unit testing you need to do. Whenever you are writing any method with for this method, you are going to write a unit test case. And where you need to write this unit case? You need to write this unit case in your test package. That is a
Test
separate
code.
thing. That is completely separate. Unit test case, just you are testing a method, right? I need to test
Okay.
my
Yes.
method end to end. What I do? This is the Postman tool. I will test it end to end. Right. Here, let me
Yes.
do, let me add Prashad and let this is birthday. Okay. And I'll just send it. So what I have done here, the mapping, post mapping method type in the Postman, you have to do, you have to take post. And the
Yes.
API path is slash users. And now if I will
Flash
click
use.
the send button, so Prasad got added. See the new ID is 7. New ID is 7. So this is correct.
In
Okay, new ID got means
uh,
it is the database ID. So this is
yes.
how I tested as a backend engineer. I have done, see, unit testing and the kind of testing what I am doing. This is end-to-end testing. This is the integration testing, functional testing I am doing, right? The difference between unit testing and functional testing. Functional testing is your integration testing. So this is I have done functionally, means I tested functionally and I found my functionality is working fine. The user got added. If I will do a cross check here in with the get API, get API, see Prashad also coming as a user. Okay, so my functionalities are working perfectly fine. So this is functional test. But what I asked you that now you as a backend engineer, you are done with your functional testing and you found that your API is working perfectly fine, giving the expected result. Now what you are supposed to do? How you need to coordinate with your front end engineer, isn't it? Yes or no? You
Yes.
need to
Yes. Usha.
you need to give this API. This is what I wanted actually means this API you should give
The
it to. Yeah,
path
yes, yes,
path
go
you
ahead.
are uh, that API path and the function of API which is post and the JSON body which is name and birth date.
Exactly. This
It
is a
should not.
contract.
It should
This
not.
is a contract.
It should. It should not with include with ID. ID will generate through incremental way.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have to coordinate with your front end engineer saying that, see, this is the API which you need to call. Okay. So in real time, this whole thing, this IP and this 8080, all this thing, it will be like your domain name where your API is running, right? And the path is slash user. So this is what you need to give, that this is my service, you need to call my service. You don't need even give, you don't need to give all these API so IP everything, you don't need to give. Your front end knows only the path you need to give slash users, the method name, request method is post, and this is the contract. You need to tell that your request should come from the front end in this format, so that my backend can process this and my backend can create a user. Okay, and once you are like once your request processed, then this is the expected response. If you are getting a ID 7, then you should tell, your front end should pop up the message to the user saying that user created, or you are registered, something like that, some information. So the front end will just check whether ID has come from the backend or not in the response. Yes, come, it has come. So user created. Suppose some and the response method code is response code is 200. If response code is 200, okay means your means backend service is working fine, user got created properly. So you will populate a message in the front end saying to the user that your user created, or you are now you are a registered user, something, some information you are going to tell. So when the front end and back end means they are like different layer, right? Front end and different, they are not tightly coupled. The back end services always running in some server, okay, in multiple instances it will run. Now your front end should aware of the URL and the request method and the request body. Okay, this request body it should know. And then this is the contract. Okay, and your backend, and as a backend engineer, it is your responsibility that you should say that this is the this is the sample means response you should get. Okay, and that is how the backend and front end team works together. Or if you are a full stack, no issue, because you are only the developer of the front end and backend, so you can do that. But mostly this is not the case. So see, this is also one of the interview question. Do you know that, like, how you work, like as a API developer, when you do the API, what all thing you provide to your front end team, means how you do the coordination. So this is important actually. Okay. Now, so those who were not there in last class, they should know that this request body is important. This request means, because this new your user object, your user object, it should be annotated with the request body, so that what will happen when the postman, okay, when the postman is sending this, postman is what, it is your front end. At present, this postman is my front end, isn't it? Any doubt on this?
Yes.
This front end is my means this postman tool is my uh, it is my sorry, postman is my front end tool. Everybody try to install postman in your machine. Okay, postman is a very crucial tool actually for backend engineers. Okay. Okay, now just a minute, I'm getting one call. Just give me one moment, please. Okay, thank you, and sorry for the pause. Okay. So here, see here, this JSON data, when this content is sending, when the moment when I click the send button, this JSON data, it has gone to where? It has gone to my Spring Boot engine, right? It has gone to my Spring Boot engine. Here my Tomcat is running, so it has gone to this, and this in this Tomcat web server, my Spring Boot engine is running. My Spring Boot server, the whole engine is running, right? Now this Spring Boot will do what? It will see that, okay, request method is post, this is the slash user is the path, and this is a JSON data I have got. Means it could know that, okay, which method I need to call. Immediately it will do what? It will invoke this post mapping slash user. So this is the perfect matching. So this method will be invoked. Okay. And also what it will do, this JSON data, it will convert it into user object. It will check that what all keys are present here. Name is present. Yes, name is there in the request. So name is there. Name is there. Birthday is there. Yes, birthday is also there. Exactly matching, right? So everything is there. So what it will do, it will just create a user object. Means this JSON will be converted to user object. And since I have setter method, getter method here, so it will do all setting here. Name will be set as Prashad, birthday will be set as the date which I have provided, everything will get set, and it will just ID, it will assign null. Okay, initially it will assign null, and it create the JSON object got converted into what? It got converted into user object. But for that, what I need to do, I have to tell to Spring that request body. That means Spring means Spring could know that I will get this data from the front end. Okay, so if you are providing this kind of annotation, then only Spring will try to find this data from the front end, and the data what it has got from the front end, that it will convert it into your Java object. So what has happened by Spring Boot? Spring Boot has done the JSON data conversion to Java object. So this JSON data conversion to Java object is called as deserialization. Okay, what it is calling as deserialization. Remember, it is a very important question. Deserialization. How deserialization occur? Deserialization. Okay, this is called deserialization. Now, after creating the user, we are getting a user object. So this method is returning user, right? Now this user object we have got here, ID, name, birthday, everything we got. So the Java object now got converted into what? It got converted into JSON. So who has done this conversion? Java object to JSON format. Again, Spring only did that for us. When it returned this 200 okay response to us that time, okay, the body of the response got converted from Java object to JSON, and this is called as a serialization. Okay, this is called as serialization. Means when XML to Java object, deserialization. When object Java object to XML, that is called serialization. I am pinging you over chat. Okay, so just remember serialization and deserialization. The last time actually this concept was explained, but since many of you were not there, so again I explained. Okay, that's fine. So now post mapping, all of you clear? Guys, please ask the question, at least that will motivate me. I need also motivation, right? Everybody needs motivation. If you just keep silence, how can I know if people are listening to me or not getting it, or what is the issue at your end? No clue for me to
Yes,
know, right?
Usha, we are getting.
Yes.
We
Good,
are
good.
getting.
Please,
Yes,
at
yes.
least you respond. We are in a very small group, and actually, if the group is small, right, we can make it more interactive. Okay. Let it be like two-way communication, both the sided, like let us discuss with each other. If any issue, let me know. And if you tell me, then only I can get a feedback. Okay. Now, till this three API we have done. Okay. Today actually this post API means API for the post. I am going to give it to you all in the assignment. Means for the user who creates all the posts, right? Sometimes some audio post, some video post, some image post, some text post. Sometimes in the Facebook you post, right, some text or in the Twitter you post some audio, some video, some media file you post, right, or some kind of text also, like what is your thought on some issue, something you just post it. So the API what needed for a done by post done by user, each the all this API I want to see how you people are designing. Okay, this is an assignment, but for this user API I am doing it. Okay, now post is done. Now put is what? Put is update one user. So if I want, suppose I just added the user Prasad. Okay, I just added the user Prasad, but the birth date is not the correct one. Okay, and that's why I just want to modify it. So what I will do, I have to add a capability again in my page. So what I will do here, I will just create one more API, update user. Okay, and I'll just pass the request body again. So what mapping I should give? Put mapping. So whenever you need to update the user, okay, then you should give put mapping and let the path be same slash users only. You can also provide update user, but I will give slash users, okay. And here update user. But this update user method is not there. So what's I supposed to do? I will create update user in the DAO service, okay. And first of all, what I need to do in the from the user list, in the user list, what should I do? The replace method is there. Replace, no, not replace is not there. So I have to remove and add, right? I have to remove and add. So what I have to do, replace is there. Replace all is there. Replace is not there, right? Throw your idea. Throw your idea. Pratiksha, can I get to know what actually you are suggesting? The list I don't have any replace method. So what should I do? Okay, let me switch to one more person, Minu. Can I know what is your thought on this? Try to speak up. It's a platform to talk, right? No, nothing. No means as of now, no idea. Okay, anyone can
Ma'am,
anyone? Yeah,
ma'am,
Vishnu.
I think we can use the string builder class instead of string.
See, what I'm thinking that let us do one thing. I just try to stream. Okay, you know lambda function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Always streaming and lambda
Yes.
function try to use. This is a very means high weightage area in the core Java. Okay, lambda functions. Mean this is your
Function
streaming
interface.
function, functional programming. Core Java functional programming is high weightage. So just try to use that kind of functionality always, okay, because you may ask you may get this kind of question in the interview. So userly dot stream. So what I will do, I will just try to filter the user or filter user. I'll get whatever user I'm getting. I'll just see if user dot get id. Let me make it user one or existing user. User. From the stream, I'm getting existing user, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Existing user, if existing user ID is equal to your user which we have got from the front end, this user ID is same, then what we will do, we will try to uh, remove this. This I can do like this also. Wait. From the user list, I'll just remove this user. Okay. Without any thought, I'll just remove this user. I'll remove it. Sorry. Replace is not there. If replace would have been there, I would have just replaced. But replace is not there. So what I need to do first, I need to uh,
Ma'am, user list is a array list or an object?
User list is a array list. It's a array list. Okay, from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to use database. Okay, from tomorrow or day after tomorrow onwards, I'm going to use the real database.
Okay.
But for now, it is array list. So what I will do, first of all, I will try to collect this user. Okay, I'll just try to collect this user.
Ma'am, set method is there. For updating in array list, set method is there.
The list
Dot
dot set.
dot set. Yes. Here you can just add
But
this.
index is required. I don't want that index. So
First
what we
get
will do,
index.
say first of all, we will do what? Uh, the stream method we will use. So here existing user ID and this get ID is same, right? So what we will do, we will try to get this user first. Okay. And then we'll try to get this user. Find first I will do dot get. Okay. This user I have found out. Now what I will do, this is my user, existing user. I have found out this existing user. The moment this condition got satisfied, already defined actually in the scope existing user obj. Okay. Now this existing user of I'm going to remove it from my list. User list dot remove existing user object. I will remove, and what I will do, I just
Update. Add
add this user
user.
ID.
Yes.
This user. This one I will add. That this much I will do. Okay, and then what I will do? I will return user. So that I can get also, if in the response I'm getting user, then the data got updated or not, that I can also check, right? In the front end. So
I think the existing user object is the
existing
option.
user. Exactly. Existing user. Okay, so we are done with our service. Okay, this is service. This is user controller. So update user, everything we are done. Now what we will do, the just for updating or when you are replacing the whole resource, this new means you have an existing resource. Okay, already the user is created, but you want to remove everything and you just need to replace the user. That time this kind of put mapping you should do. Put mapping. Then afterwards, I will tell you patch mapping. So put mapping and patch mapping is very important. Means they will ask, like interviewer, definitely they will ask what is the difference. So uh, listen to me carefully. Whenever you need to replace the existing resource, okay? Whenever you need to replace the existing resource, then you should go for put mapping. Yes, someone is saying something. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Ma'am, just one question. Why are we removing the user here? Because this is for update now. The user might have like some post or something. So if we are removing and we are creating a new user, then all the
No, we are
records,
not
like
creating.
all
I
the
am not creating any new user. See, this Prasad user, the birthday, suppose some more than one field, okay, birthday, some XYZ field. I'm trying to, means some wrong data has gone for him. Okay, and post mapping. In this post mapping, this data got created, ID also got created. My backend has wrong data. Now I want to rectify that data. This user, Prasad user, suppose Prasad will tell that, no, I also want to add my surname. So what is the surname? Prasad, what is your surname?
Shedge.
Sidgi. Is it the pronunciation? So you will say
ADJ,
that
yes.
you want your surname to be added, you want your birthday to change. So two data, both the data he want to replace, more than one data he want to change. So what the front end will do? Front end will send me with this ID 7, front end will send me the whole user data. So my backend responsibility is to replace the user. So the existing user will be removed from the database and the new user will be added. Means in the database actually we have that kind of functionality to just replace it. Okay. So since in the list I had to like just do some kind of workaround for the replacement, right? This is a workaround I did. So existing user I identified, I replaced it, remove and I added this new user. So let me start the server. Did I answer to your question? Who asked this? Pratiksha or Minu? Who
Yes,
asked this?
yes, yes, mean.
So now is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
If you see, this is the criteria for you. When you want more than one data to be replaced, more than one data to be corrected, okay, then your backend should have this put mapping method. When you, means for more than one data correction, okay, you should have put mapping, which will do what? It will just replace the existing resource. Okay. But if you want just part of the data, a small, mean just one field kind of thing, if you want to just change, then that is different. That we will do. But for this kind of thing, actually, the whole data will be replaced. Okay. Now we are having the API. So what we will do, I'll just this is the same path. So I'll just add this path. I will give put here and in the body what I supposed to give, I give JSON data. So this is the data actually I need to correct. So in the request body, my JSON data is like this. See, ID 7, Prashad, something like Prashad surname is, I don't want to make any mistake.
No, no worries. Nothing harm
Okay,
to me.
thank you, Prasad, for permitting me. Okay, so this is the surname I added. I believe it is correct. And let me give some change his birth date, birth year. I'm changing. I know this is incorrect only, but still, uh, okay, something like this.
Curly brace is missing. Just
Early messages. Okay. Now, Prashad, the data got changed. Now I'll just click send button. So send button will do what? This is request body. I think I have given request body. Yes, I have given here. So Spring Boot will do what? First, it will identify which method is put, which path is slash user. So it will find out this one, this functionality, this method. It is present in user controller, and the request body it will change. The JSON, the whole JSON data it will change, and so everything will be done here. Then update, it will come to update user, and this whatever you mentioned over here, this should perform. Right. So let's see what we have got. We have got no such 500 internal server error. Java util no such element. User DAO service is a problem. Okay, the coding what we have done there not correct. Update user. This is something to be corrected. Okay. So let's see what should we do. This remove existing user. Okay, so it's a very good opportunity for me to teach you like how to debug. Okay, so what you will do, stop the server. Okay, start the server in debug. When you are like doing it, right? Functional testing not working. So at that time, you just run it in the debug mode. Okay, before running it in the debug mode, I forgot to put the breakpoint. So what I will do, I'll just put a breakpoint over here. Okay, and now I will start the server in the debug mode. Okay, so the server has been running in a debug. Breakpoint I have put over here. Okay, now I'll call send button. So since I have put my breakpoint over here, so your execution got stopped. Okay. So what all thing I have got from the front end? I have got user ID at 7, name. Also I got whatever was sent by the front end, birthday, everything. The data I got perfectly fine. Now I need to run to the next line. Let's see. So you can see here, step over. This is step over. Next step I want to do. Okay. There only that issue came. So that left. My issue I got to know that here is there here.
In filter method, I think.
Here only this method is there. I supposed to correct this. This functional programming itself this is wrong. Okay, get ID. Dot get ID. See here, no value present. Okay, let me do one thing. I just use the advanced for loop over here. Okay, because I want to cover that delete also. I will just for the time being. This one, what I will do, I'll just comment it. I'll check it later, and tomorrow may, if possible, I'll discuss this one. What I will do now, user dot user list. We will just use a advanced for loop for what we will do here. The list
String, ma'am, string user from is
and user existing user.
in user list.
And just if
If
existing user get ID and user dot get ID.
then add that two methods, user list dot remove.
Will add existing user we will remove and return user. Okay. Or else you
Return statement, I think it is
return.
required. Well,
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
ma'am, the return statement it present at the end of that function, no, not in the for loop.
No, no. What I'm thinking that the moment, see, the moment. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, and at the end of that also is
No,
required, no.
no. See what I'm thinking. Suppose this user is there. Okay. This user is there. then it will do all these operations, okay, and it will return the
and
user.
return. And if it is not there,
Suppose
return
this
null.
user is not there, then it will come and
Mm,
return a null.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
One return statement after the for loop is required.
Yes. So now it is fine, I think. Let's see. Let me start run it in the debug mode
Uh,
only.
one curly braces is extra, I think,
Sorry. Okay.
at the end.
This is for your user dial service. So, one more is required. One more curly braces.
One is extra. One is extra. Need to
One is
remove that.
extra. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
One is extra. Update user.
Yes, now it's working fine.
Yes. Yeah. So let me start again. Run it in the debug mode only. Now we'll see.
I think, but there is no statement where need to stop
Break,
to the
breakpoint
breakpoint.
is
Need to add the breakpoint in the for or in a if statement block.
correct. I added the breakpoint here. Started the server.
Return will get the breakpoint.
Here I have added the breakpoint. I think this should suffice our requirement. Now let's see. Okay, here it came and the user object we are getting. We just take over.
Ma'am, it's getting false.
Yes, for the first
Mm,
existing user, for few of the user it will be false, right?
mhm.
For few of the user it will be false. What is there in the existing user? Existing user ID is 3. For ID 3, this will be false one, right?
For ID 7, it should work with.
Now which ID is going on? Again,
No such element is present, I think.
so get ID, that comparison I think is not the correct one. The way we are comparing here. Let's see what is the. I'll just execute. I'll just execute. Same thing came here. This comparison is I think not the correct one.
And can we check all the users in the list?
Hello, hello.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, here we are removing the user, right? With this user ID. So it is already removing that user with user ID 7. And
Oh, yes, the
again,
logic is incorrect, I think.
No, no. Logic is same. The logic here we have ID 7 is there. We are just adding a user. This user list is just a. I think this comparison here is something going wrong. Existing user dot get ID dot user dot get ID. Get ID is doing what? It is integer, returning integer.
Then we need to dot equals method, not equal to.
Existing user,
Dot get ID dot equals user dot get ID.
no, equals
Ma'am, equals method is need
user
is
ID, user ID, existing dot
get ID
users dot get
ID dot
ID.
equals.
No, dot equals will again it will give that object. Don't
Not give
want
a object.
give
It needs
integer.
it used to
We
compare
want
that it is used to compare the two containers. What are the present between the two containers?
just I'll take the int
Huh.
value.
Then it is also similar.
Just dot int value. Let's this time start it here in the run mode only.
Ma'am, instead of that, we directly use dot equals method.
Dot equals will provide
In
you.
dot
Dot
equals,
equals also you can do. Yes, dot equals also you can.
dot equals, and that the
But
parameter
these two objects,
passed.
see, actually
bec-
dot equals will not means it will always give you false because
No, no, dot
this
equals not
user
giving.
has no, this user has Prasad and his surname. Then Prasad birthday is different, right? So this user and
But
this
no, no, no.
user,
Get ID, then dot
we
get
just need
equals,
to we
then
just need
in this equals parameter, we need to add the user dot get ID.
this time we are getting 200. Okay, we are getting 200. Let's do one thing. Just see if Prasad data has been changed or not. No, some of the data also got removed.
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
actually
ID
everything?
5 is not there. ID 7 is not there.
ID 7 is not there. Okay, let me remove. Try to remove Pradeep. 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 Some surname. Rated, and this is 2000. This is coming correct. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Oh, my bad. Actually, Pradeep 7 was not there, right? That's why. That time, actually, our server was running, so many users were added, right? Since it is a object in the memory, isn't it?
No, ma'am. But
See,
equal.
I was on. Let me tell you the whole mess up. What happened? I when I'm creating the server, right? My DAO
Yes.
service is also getting started, isn't it?
This is
My DAO
static
service is
way
also
data.
getting started, and in the static method, this 4 user I'm trying to add, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, in my database, this 4 user is there. Now, here in the put mapping, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to remove 7, ID 7, right? This was
Hmm.
my comparison logic, which cannot be correct, right? Which cannot be correct. So,
But ma'am, the logic also not correct. Equal
this
to for comparison. If you
no,
remove
this is
that
the
dot
correct
int,
logic.
but
See, the,
if you remove the int value, then it's showing that same error. Another issue, I think.
that's why I have added int value, right?
Hmm.
See, my logic should be like my user already it should be there, whose ID int value should be same with the user what I am getting from the front end. His ID means the new user ID and the existing user ID both should be equal. Then only I should assume that okay, this user is there in my database. I will remove.
But ma'am,
And
instead of int value, if you use after the get ID dot equals and pass user dot get ID as a parameter, then I think it also work.
you are saying that see this is what you are saying, which I cannot be agreed because you are saying
Dot
get
equals
ID. See, you
dot
are saying
equals
that
then
no,
user
this
dot
is
get ID. User dot get
you
ID.
no, this is not correct.
Ma'am,
Why
it's
I'm saying
working. It's working
no,
fine.
no, why I'm saying uh, this will work. Why this will also work? Yes, this will also work because internally whatever I have written here, right?
Yes, ma'am. Internally, in dot equal
Internally,
method is doing similar,
this is only
doing,
going on.
yes, ma'am, doing same
This
thing.
is only going on. Means when you are comparing two integer object,
Hmm.
at that time it will just extract the int value of it and it will compare the two integer object. It will not means see in memory two integer objects are created, right? This existing user object is there and also this user object is there.
Yes, ma'am.
But the equal method when we are comparing
Yeah,
string or when we are
no, no,
comparing
uh,
integer, it
equal
will just
method, equal method comparing the what was the address
integer.
present in the stack memory, but instead of but that equals method pointing that object and what was the present inside that object, that equals method need to perform that. So
Exactly. So if
that was the
we will,
reason.
yes, yes, correct, correct. I agree. I agree. If we will go to this integer and in the integer, if you see the equal method,
Yes, ma'am.
if you just compare the equal method will
Inside the
be
object.
overridden. It is overridden. Here you will see equal method must have been overridden.
Yes, ma'am.
How?
That in.
Just comparing the int value of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. If the int value of this new object is same, the value, this value is equal to the int value. Right.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
both are same, then it will return true.
The true.
So this, yes, so that is what this is doing. Okay. Anyway, our mistake got corrected, and we also found that the user also got uh, replaced. Okay. Now, how many users we are having? Suppose I want to also correct Vishal data. So what I will do, same thing. I just in the put mapping, what I will do, I'll just try to change some of his data, like maybe I'll make it 14. I'll send it. So this got corrected. So
Updated.
put mapping is for what? Put mapping is for like
Entirely changed the
whenever,
object.
yes, whenever you want to replace the object, then you go for put mapping. Now the next method what we are going to use is that this
Patch.
API patch. Patch. Okay. I will try to cover patch and delete very quickly. So for patch, what we will do, let me add one more method here, patch mapping. Patch mapping. This one. And let it be slash users only. But here I don't want to send the whole data. Okay, sometimes what will happen, your phone data will be big, right? In my here, user data is very small. So that's why I could make a small JSON data. But suppose you just imagine, suppose when in the passport office, a big amount of data means they take lot of data, right, to register somebody in the passport office. So that time if your form data, your front-end data is too big and you just want a small portion of your data to change, then you should not prefer put mapping. But your API always you should think your API for all this method, okay? You should give capability for all this, like what all thing can be possible from the front end. You should always means have the API support all those method. Okay, whenever you are asked that, okay, as a API designer, I you need to make the API, then you should think that, okay, if I have this object or this data, then what all thing I can expect in future. You should think from all angle, and then you should design the API accordingly. So now patch mapping, so what I will do here, I will send the slash user is my path, and here one more data you should send user ID, right? For which user you don't need to send the whole, I mean the ID, everything you don't need to send, just send the user ID. So keep it here like this in the parenthesis, and will be a path variable user ID ID. Then just let it be this much. Okay, the data also you should send, right? So in the request body, you will just send a part of the data, not the whole data. So I'll just suppose send the birth date. Generally, the birth date correction is required or something like that, then just means for the most expected data which partly needs to be corrected, means uh, when somebody fills some data, right? Like which all data you may expect that it can be, means you are getting the request, or you may get the request again and again for that particular data to change. So just consider that for that kind of data only you should have the put patch mapping. Okay. So here it is just going to replace a part of the data. So now what I will do, I will have a method here, update birth date. Let me make it local date. Here in the users local date. So I will make it local date, update. I just take the ID help for creating this method. This is what it will do. What we will do, same thing we will do here. Let me just copy paste this whole. Here what I will do, I'll not remove, right? I will not remove. Here I will also send the ID. ID also I'll send. ID. We'll just check ID and this existing user, the existing user, that birthday is the new date, what I have received from the content, and that's all. Is already added, so I don't need to do anything. Return existing user. Did you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
In the user controller, the user is expecting to just send one data ID. Means this is the path actually. For which user the use means your front end should tell to the backend that for this user ID, I need the date to be changed, birth date to be changed. Okay. So as a backend engineer, you means when you are expecting some of the data which is getting frequently changed, so you should have the patch mapping for those data only. So I am seeing that my local birth date is always frequently, means I am getting request. Means this actually is an enhancement. Means most of the time patch mapping are being asked by the front end engineers that or front end team, like, or maybe like the business asks that, see, it's very annoying for me that like to send the whole data every time or like that. Okay, it comes from business or from the content team. So patch mapping are generally like, it is a enhancement to the project happens. Okay, so here you should but you should know that what is put mapping. Put mapping is like whole user data you send, but here patch mapping just part of the data you send. But date only means you will send from the front end, and for which ID you need to change. So I have told you that ID is a dynamic thing which you will put it in your API, means in the path, user path. Okay. And for those things which is coming in the path, that should be annotated as path variable. And those thing which you are getting in the request body, that should be annotated with request body. Okay. Now you should start your server. Let me stop and start. I hope it is fine. So let's see. Let me start it. Okay, I'll add the method here, patch mapping, and the request is, so what I will do, I'm having only 4 users as of now, right? So let me add a new user here. Prashad, I'm adding. So this is the 5th user, but his birthday I want to change using the path napkin. Let's see if it works. This one. So ID, I should send it where I should send it. I should send it here, right? The path. Name I don't need to send. I just need to send his birthday. Let it be 7 instead of 6. Badly. What happened? Why bad request? So JSON pass error, expected array or string. Okay, it could not convert to local date. See here, you can see here. See, in many times, just by seeing the error, right, you can know like how the framework works. See, STT converter is there, right? So here, are you able to see this converter, the one which I am highlighting?
Yes, ma'am.
So what it is saying that this JSON parse error means the JSON data what I have sent, it is saying that it is expecting an array or
Or
string,
strings.
but I have sent it a string. It tried to convert it, so some issue with the conversion only happened. JSON parse error expected array or string. So I should change it to, instead of string, let it be change it to, in the conversion we have to take care. Okay, so this one I will continue. Already it is 8:11. So let me just wrap it over here. Okay, this further means debugging we'll do tomorrow, and then we will complete it with the delete mapping. Okay, delete mapping I'll complete. Patch mapping means this correction will do tomorrow. Today I'll give assignment for post. Okay, just for you all, I'm saying that try to make some API from get to put. Okay, patch you can leave it for now. Get to put, you do it for the post done by the user. Okay, this is an assignment. I'll also like ping you over the chat. And tomorrow we'll continue from here, patch delete, and then I will also make you learn how to do the validation, means without writing much code, how your object can be validated. Mean in case the front end sends some wrong data, right? Then how that can be taken care by the framework itself without writing much code. So this is also going to be very important to know. So validation, all those stuff we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. Today already 8:12, so I have a hard stop over here. So let me just conclude this class here only. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.